And here we are outside Schwarzach St. Veit on a lovely lunchtime in May. Now I just rode in from Innsbruck and now it's time to swap RailJets and continue on for Villach and ultimately Ljubljana. The station is clean and functional and modern, but it isn't too long until my train, and Johnny probably wants to have a chat to you before we leave, so let's pop over to the platform where he's waiting. So we're here at the station at Schwarzach St. Veit. I've got myself a sandwich and something to drink and eat at the local spa on the other side of the river, and oh, I found some supermarket beer there as well, so yes, high quality stuff at 89 cents. So here we are, and part two of this little run to Villach. The useful lookup table tells you whereabouts the configuration of each train will be on the platform. Of course, if you've been to Britain, you often know they get that wrong. So, you know, let's see. But somewhere in D&E should be first class, so that's where I am. And we'll see how it goes. I'll see you in Villach. Or maybe not, because I've got a very tight connection there. So maybe I'll leave it to voiceover man to sign off from this one. So even before we started, thanks for watching. Well, thanks, Johnny. I am quite used to doing all the heavy lifting on this channel. Anyway, for context, here's where we are in Austria. On the previous video, I came across on RailJet from Innsbruck. So now let's look at the continuation on to Villach. We'll start off westerly following the river Schwarzach, travelling high above the river before swinging south to follow one of its tributaries, all the way up past Dorgestein, Bad Hofgestein and Bad Gastein. Now, just beyond Bad Gastein, we'll drive through the high Tauren mountain range on the 8.3 kilometre long Tauern railway tunnel popping out at Melnitz. And after a second tunnel section, the train will follow the river Mole down to the river Drava and into Spittel. The line then sticks to the Drava all the way to Villach Hauptbahnhof. This 150 kilometre or 71 mile run will take 1 hour and 32 minutes. And that's not a bad time considering the line's topography. And with almost Swiss timing, the EC 164 for Zurich pulls into platform 2, thereby providing a quick connection with my train, which rolls in just 3 minutes later. And of course it is an ÖBB RailJet set. So let's jump into first class, into its welcoming interior and get settled in for this relatively short journey. You know, the EC 164's 10-hour trip from Graz to Zurich sounds like a great ride for someone like me that enjoys very long train rides through beautiful countryside. Shortly after leaving the station, the train climbs quickly, leaving the Schwarzach below, thereby providing a few views of this morning's rail route, which is right down in the valley. We continue to climb until turning south to pick up the Gastein. And once again, the RailJet sets its sights on a climb up to an alpine pass. And the views start to open up, and we are treated to yet more buttercup-filled Austrian fields. Just 20 minutes into the ride and we come upon the lovely stone-built Bad Hofgestein station. And on leaving the station, the train skirts the valley floor before our Tauernbahn route climbs up the side to provide some stunning views of the villages and the towns below. As we climb, we cross the Angertal on the new bridge, which was installed in 2016. The original steel bridge is still there as it's a listed monument. Bad Gastein is, as the name suggests, a spa town which grew to enable visitors to take the clear alpine waters. Lately, though, more of the tourism centres around hiking and skiing. Modern additions to the line are the banks of acoustic shields, which are pretty claustrophobic given that from here to the tunnel entrance is actually single track. And just before the tunnel entrance we see some wagons used for the Tauern motor rail that shuttles motor vehicles on the 11-minute ride through the railway tunnel. And we're out of the tunnel joining the river Seebach as we begin our descent to our first stop on this southern side of the mountains at Malnitz Obervillach. There's still one more long tunnel section to go, so straight after the station we enter the Kaponic Tunnel, which is a bit shorter at around 5 kilometres. As I understand, it was inaugurated in 1999 and it replaced a series of older, shorter tunnels on the line. And wow, we come out of the tunnels high above the River Mole and the town of Obervillach. What stunning vistas this railway has provided. Incidentally, construction of the line, known as the Tauern Railway, was started in 1901, and by 1909 the whole route was in place. Electrification was completed in 1935. That original line was single track, therefore from 1969 onwards, work to double track the line required many new bridges and tunnels, and that was not finally completed until 2016. The towns continue to slide by in the valley below, and I spare a thought for the job of the original carters, who no doubt spent their lives ferrying people and goods up and down to and from the railway. At Pusanitz, the railway finally drops onto the wider valley floor, and the single platform at Lendorf marks where we join the Tauernbahn. Now this route stretches westwards, below the Alps, all the way into northern Italy, but we will be following it southeastwards to Villach. Our final stop is at Spital Millstatensee. The station includes the name of the big lake which is to the north of the town, but it passes by out of sight of the train. And now we're fully on the Tauernbahn. There's a section of dead straight line here that finally means we can get up to around 140 kilometers per hour. And down here the river has become broader and far more mature. And as we sprint down to Villach, let's talk prices. Well, as you know, I'm riding on an Interrail ticket. Ticket prices for this route are generally €47.40 in first class and €24.30 in second, although I have seen some advanced tickets as low as €9.90. So if you buy at the right time, you can maybe grab a bargain. Now, it is a lovely afternoon for a riverside ride, but it's going to be a very tight connection at Villach. So, as we pull into Villach, I'd like to take the opportunity to say that the two rides on the original RailJets have been a real pleasure. And, coupled with the Austrian countryside that delights you throughout the journey, this is one trip I can highly recommend. It is definitely a case of onto the platform, down the steps, up the other side, and then try to find your train waiting. So, as I come upon my Slovenian flirt EMU, may I just say thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you again soon. Probably sat on that train right there.